Okay.
Never.
All right, chat. Okay, let's tap in. Okay, this is a passion for me, chat. This isn't like a big reacts, but this is a passion. Okay. Who here, chat, likes Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic or has watched someone play it and has fond memories of it?
I never gave up on
Austin
you.
gets it, dude.
Never. Never. We are so back. We are so back. Famous last words. But look.
Why didn't I say that at the beginning of stream today? When I didn't stream for a fucking week because I was sicky? Huh? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Look, come on. We went through a trilogy of videos. For those of you there with me, thank you. We were mourning together. The first of those 3 videos where we had learned that the KOTOR remake may have been iced and that Saber Interactive may no longer be working on it, and we were watching as the months poured on. After all these reports, as Embracer has shedded off everything except the KOTOR remake.
Ugh.
So it's hanging on by a thread, but that's not really giving me the most confidence that this is a project.
Yo, shout out Maddie Plays for having this fucking fresh ass chain placement. That is sick. I don't know why, but it's really like tickling a part of my brain right now. W mans.
Steamrolling
And being
toward
sexy,
successful
dude.
launch. Then afterwards, we made a video talking about how
Austin, I'm so fucking excited for the fucking classic Battlefront. Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna play the shit out of that, dude.
I think Xbox would be the perfect publishing partner, since one report that I believe
W, Josh.
came from Jeff Grubb was that PlayStation wanted out of KOTOR remake, and Lucasfilm just sort of finds the developer and finds a publisher and marries them together. And so I proposed in that video, Xbox, you kind of had this as an exclusive. You are the one who could save KOTOR remake, and it would fit really well for your
Chris, I've been doing my hair all week and it's still not done. Oh my god, what were you doing to it? Dyeing it?
ecosystem. I thought that was it. And then we got a third final key update saying that, according to 2 sources from Saber Interactive,
Yeah, dude. Punchy, sleep well, homie. Enjoy the fucking rewatch on the stream tomorrow, dude. Appreciate you, bro.
KOTOR remake was still in development. Since then, not much has really been said.
Oh,
People have tracked,
shit, Harry.
earnings reports from Embracer suggesting that KOTOR remake is still alive and well, but I just couldn't really buy in, because knowing where Embracer is heading, they lost out on a $2 billion deal and have been axing positions and companies and games everywhere. And while it made a lot of sense to hold on to Star Wars because that can generate you a lot of revenue if done right, it's a licensed product. You got to pay for that. Why do you want to hang on to this? Could you have put your team on something else? Saber Interactive employs, as we'll talk about in a moment here, over 3,000 people. Could they be working?
Dude, the nostalgia is crazy.
How do they continue to justify hanging on to this? You know, we saw how The Last Ronin, a TMNT game that I'm extremely excited
Josh.
about. If you haven't read that comic, please check it out. But the team handling that had half their staff laid off. So I didn't think that KOTOR remake would get out unscathed, but if this new
Oh yeah, Josh, this is a new update. This is like within the last day. Yeah, it was looking pretty bleak before. It was looking pretty bleak before. Let's see what our boy Matty Plays gotta say here.
report is to be believed, it may be, you know, I don't want to go all hype mode, of course, but this is the best case scenario for where it was at, and hopefully the future is bright. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. The following video is brought to you by Unicorn Overlord. It's a Vanillaware game, y'all, so listen up. That art style is super cozy, always inviting you in. I was introduced to their games with
Okay, wait. Okay, I was about to go, yo, chat, are we skipping this or what? But okay, I'm trying to hear him out, dude. This does look like a good game, actually. Hold
I
on.
remember playing it before I was going into college. Wonderful time there. Then I went to Muramasa Rebirth on my Vita. So naturally, I'm very, very excited for Unicorn Overlord. And this is a rebirth of the retro fantasy strategy genre that embarks audiences on a nostalgic-infused epic SRPG adventure, inviting them to forge alliances, liberate kingdoms, and explore an expansive world with stunning visuals. Now, unlike the last game from Vanillaware, 13 Sentinels, the focus of this game lies in strategy and tactics rather than emphasizing the narrative. So it's a classic heroic fantasy tale that's going to pay homage to the 1632-bit strategy RPG gameplay with that gorgeous art style that you know and love from
I do really
Vanillaware.
like the art
It's
style.
available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series
Aesthetics of games are really like important to me. I don't know why. I sound like such a dork saying that, but like they really are. I don't know why. I don't know why, dude.
X and S, PS5, and PS4 digital only. And there's a demo out right now that you can play at this moment in time. It's a long demo, by the way, like 5 hours, and the progress carries over into the full release.
Wait.
You can hear the music in the background too. It's got a
Did you say PS4 and PS5 only, or did you say PC as well?
beautiful score.
Was anyone paying attention?
I cannot wait to play. And if you're excited too, Unicorn Overlord comes out
Oh!
on March 8th. This
On everything but PC. Yo, fuck you, PC. Eat our dicks. I guess I could play it on my Switch.
year, not too far away. Thanks again to Unicorn Overlord for sponsoring today's video. So, Bloomberg reports Embracer Group to sell Saber developer of a new
Yeah, I thought this was bad.
Star Wars game remake.
Wait. Embracer Group to sell Saber developer of a new Star Wars game remake into... Oh!
$500 million deal. Swedish gaming company Embracer Group AB will sell one of its largest subsidiaries, Saber Interactive, to a group of private investors in a deal worth up to $500 million, according to a person familiar with the transaction. Saber will become privately owned with around 3,500 employees, said the person who asked not to.
Well, as long as the people buying this company aren't just straight up evil fuckers, this is an awesome move. This is an awesome move. They don't have anybody like bigger than them, like EA or Ubisoft or somebody like that, telling them what the fuck to do. Because realistically, Saber could have gone to one of them. You know, this is sick, dude.
To be identified, discussing non-public information. The company plans to continue.
They are brave. They are brave investing this much.
Developing a remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the highly anticipated game that was removed from its previous developer, Aspire Media, in 2022. The deal will be one of Embracer's largest moves yet in an ongoing cost-cutting initiative that has seen the company lay off employees and shutter studios around the world over the past year. Since this report, Saber and Embracer have declined to comment. Saber, the developer of the games such as SnowRunner and World War Z, operates studios in several countries, including the US, Portugal, and Russia. In addition to making its own original titles, it does work for other developers. The $500 million figure includes an option for Saber to bring along multiple Embracer subsidiaries, the person says. Okay, let's start off by taking an honest assessment of the situation here and why I've personally come to a more optimistic point of view here. The worst case scenario was this project remaining under Embracer, just because even if they thought they saw a ton of money in it, right now with that $2 billion deal that fell through the floor for Embracer,
yeah, Embracer literally has no fucking cash to spend to get this shit cleared.
Down these studios. This puts them in a spot where even if KOTOR Remake makes a lot of sense for them, they just may not have the money right now to fund it and would have to shut it down anyway. That's the ugly part of the business, unfortunately.
I might be wrong, but I think there was like a report that came out like one of these companies was putting like $100 million of their own money into this game as well, which is huge, especially if they've already done that.
There was also talks of the reason that KOTOR Remake got shifted around from Aspire to Saber Interactive was scope issues. And now if the scope doesn't really match the budget that Embracer can provide, then it's also possible that a business reality kicks in and Embracer shuts down the project. Getting this game away from Embracer was best case scenario number one. Now, I didn't think that originally when this all first was announced, right, when it was Aspire, because I thought they were the ideal developers. But seeing how things have progressed, yes, getting this project away from Embracer is step one. That is a very good step here. Going privately owned is also great. You're away from shareholders and the grow at all cost mentality. And
yeah,
so they can make their own decisions here to a degree.
That is huge.
And not have to appease shareholders, which I think is also a pretty gigantic win. I think the sad reality is when you see 3,500 employees, privately owned company, I think this company is going to see a lot of layoffs as the investment is completed. If what we've seen across the industry is anything to go by, you know, there's going to be optimization.
Chat, did anything just happen to the stream? I think everything's fine. Sorry, the fucking chat was like 0 chats and then all of a sudden 5 chats. It was really weird. Okay, I think we're okay. Am I good here? Sorry.
Unfortunately, to the company that I think is going to reduce that size considerably. At least that's my way of seeing things here. But Saber Interactive keeping the IP is also great. So where does this leave things effectively? Last we heard, PlayStation wanted out. Now we have Embracer selling off the developer, so they have no horse in this race. So now it's just Saber developing this, and as Lucasfilms, they need to go find a publisher. This goes back to me to square one of what I was saying when all this was breaking, is that Xbox, this is like a legacy moment, I feel. Like, you had this game exclusively. It was kind of weird, but I didn't really care because I'm just happy the game existed in the first place. It was kind of weird that with exclusivity in mind, and I know Xbox seems to be stepping away from that, but that, you know, KOTOR wasn't going to be on your platform at all when it was getting remade. Very strange.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I literally said it back in 2021. I'm sure you can find the fucking somewhere in one of my VODs me saying it. I was like, if they release this on a PS5 and that's the only place I can play, like they aren't going to put it on PC as soon as it comes out, I'll buy a PS5. This was like going to be the game that was going to make me buy a PS5. I know that me and probably the other like 30 people that felt that way probably doesn't matter much to PlayStation, but yeah, dude. So the fact that this is hopefully going to come out on everything or Xbox, aka if Xbox does it, it's going to be free on Game Pass. Free, you know, obviously because you're paying for Game Pass, but that would be so fucking cool. That'd be so fucking cool. I mean, it can be a win being privately owned, but then again, they can do whatever because they are privately owned and don't need to follow any set rules. I think it will mostly be good, but there is always the small chance. Yeah, absolutely. Chat, are any of you old enough and nerds enough that back in the day, you used to look up like Star Wars Battlefront 3 leaked, or like Star Wars Battlefront 3 trailers, you know, just hoping like every time that you could that they would like announce something back in like 2010 to like 2013. Yo, let's go, Greenish, let's go. OMG, don't do that to me, bro. Dude, Aussie, you remember that shit, bro? Oh my god. I feel like some of the Sony fans will hate it being Xbox only, but that's also what makes me smile a bit. Yeah, dude. Well, also, like, to be honest, Xbox 720. Oh my god. Yo, Spike, you just unlocked a fucking core memory in my brain. Xbox 720 and PS4. Xbox has, like, tried to work with Sony and shit in the past. And also, Sony is just, like, letting shit slip through their fingers right now, which is fucking kind of stupid in my opinion. And also they've been, in my opinion, other than Spider-Man and God of War, putting out some shitty exclusives in the last little bit. So I think they should have tapped in on this. Yeah, Josh, yeah, I think we all did, dude.
Now, this can still go multi-plat, but Xbox can at least fund this thing because that makes the most sense.
Also, I would just like to say that until very recently, and even still in some cases, I will say or said that PlayStation is better than Xbox. I think PlayStation's just mismanaging a lot of shit and letting Xbox get a lot of like one-ups on them and seemingly doesn't really have a strategy to catch up right now. So the Xbox 720 can hold up to 5 games at one time.
That's the most likely partner in my eyes because it fits the brand, it fits the legacy, and I don't know why you would exactly let this one walk. I know, again, we're talking probably years down the line before this game is even released, and by that point, Xbox is probably not looking at exclusives as hard as they once were. Take a look at the recent moves that they've done here across these 4 games, from Grounded and Pentiment to Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush, going to other platforms, and a lot of Xbox fans have convinced themselves that that's the end of the road there, but I can pretty much promise you that there will be multiple Xbox games going multi-platform down the stretch, and so it is possible,
bro,
if I were to offer a fair point of view here, that Xbox may not have as much of a vested interest here due to changes in their business ongoing, because now they're shifting away from exclusives, like it or not. Not to just hunker down on this Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, well, it makes sense. Like Sony selling their games on console, or not console, sorry, on PC now, dude. It's like, oh, it's like an insane amount of extra money. It's like Call of Duty making Call of Duty Warzone Mobile that ties in with the console and the PC. It's a whole nother market of people that you can make money off of. So, like, if you aren't, like, trending more towards less exclusive media, you're going to have to pay the game devs a fucking huge bag to like lose out on that, entire market. Yeah, I think it's smart. I mean, I think it's smart on Xbox and Sony's side, which kind of contradicts what I said, but yeah, I don't know. I think for the right games, it makes sense to be console exclusive, but for other games, it doesn't. At least thinking about it. I'm kind of like saying this on the fly and flying by the seat of my pants right now, but yeah. Yeah, dude, that is crazy though, Spike. Thinking like 5 discs in one console is insane, but now we have terabytes in consoles. Oh, what's up, Purple? We're just reacting to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic leaks. That's probably why they won't give Xbox Helldivers. True, bro. True. The other day, my homie tried to argue with me that physical media is better. And I was like, oh, and I was saying I prefer to have everything digital. To me, it's just easy. Motherfucker was like, so you don't like owning your games? Like, bitch, we both PC gamers now. When is the last time we bought a PC disc? Our PCs don't even have disc drives. Yeah, I do get kind of what he's saying, though, right? Because, like, technically, you're renting the games, right? Like, you don't actually own them, Yo, what's up, Daddy? You don't actually own them. I get it to a point. I do like some physical media. I would like to own more games physically, but it's just not, like, really possible nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Made you want Taco Bell? Oh, yo, no, I want Taco Bell. What the hell?
Idea for too long, but I will just throw out there with Game Pass being the primary platform moving forward from what I've understood from Xbox. I feel like when they mention things such as Game Pass only existing on Xbox, that an equal value opportunity for them would be to bring KOTOR Remake into Game Pass if they feel it makes sense and if Saber wants to do that deal too. It takes two to tango in that department, but perhaps that's another way that...
No, Josh, not like rent, like, like Game Pass or something. I mean, like, technically your account can, like, get deleted, or they can say, like, no, you were a bad boy on your Steam account. No more Steam account for you. So technically you're, like, renting in, like, layman's terms. You're renting the games, So, yeah, that's, like, what the argument I've heard for physical versus digital. Oh, I was saying, okay, word. Yeah, I still got a shitload of physical copies of games for the original Xbox and 360. Dude, fuck yeah. I got a shit ton of PS2 ones. Oh, Daddy, you probably got gifted stuff from, like, Joey or something. Maybe Kayla or Arkham.
Funding, and Xbox could get that association. Just a little bit of spitballing from yours truly. Jason Schreier recently updated when asked if KOTOR is still alive. He said he can't promise it'll actually come out, but yes, it's still alive.
Praise
so
the
we
Lord.
Still got something here. There's a pulse, right? And I will go on a little bit of a fanboy tangent here, so you'll have to pardon me here. Whenever I make these videos, I sit down and I connect with the game, right? I think that's a good way of getting me in the mindset, connecting with the product, if you will. And so when I was playing KOTOR, it's so funny that I noticed how every time I sit down to play these games, whether I just have bad memory or not, I always feel like I'm discovering something new. Now, this is KOTOR 2, not KOTOR 1 when I say this, but I was playing on Nar Shaddaa in KOTOR 2, and there was this moment where you have the Red Eclipse waiting on the Ebon Hawk. They're claiming it as their property. And there's a part there where you can make a choice that I had no idea about. You can choose to take complete control of them, I think because I was doing a dark side playthrough, and then you can choose to enslave a guy who was taking your ship as his own property at one point earlier in the story, and like all of this stuff was optional and missable, and I couldn't believe it was just sitting right there. And I would love for modern audiences to have that same feeling with KOTOR. Because even if this is my favorite game of all time, I have to admit that there are things I would love to see brushed up, see what they would do with character creation.
Man, this shit's some nerd shit. When we see some tits. Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Does he have a video on Harem Hotel? Yo. My only concern is that while yes, it might wait. All those games. It sucks that they can just take away the access to them if they decide to remove the game from your console or on. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that too.
Even I was going through creating my character for KOTOR 1 and thinking, these are like all preset portraits and appearances. Like, what if they had just...
I don't know, Austin, because it is so, like, in the lore of Star Wars, and there is so much of it in the entirety of it. They would probably try and shy away from it now if they were making, like, a new game, but I think if it's something like that, like where it was originally in the game, they probably would be okay with it, especially if it's like something very optional, you know, and dark side. So like not a lot of people are gonna play it. Lucas, what's up, homie? Miss you too, dog.
Just a really cool
Yeah, on God,
creator.
Purple. On
That
God.
would be an amazing step forward, and that's kind of like a general
I would love for there to be a way better character creation in the new KOTOR. That'd be so sick.
expectation of many games nowadays that are AAA. What about combat? How are you going to handle combat if I think Final Fantasy VII has provided you the perfect framework? I mean, KOTOR
Oh my
just
God.
naturally transitions into that 7 remake.
All right, who
/
wasted
rebirth.
$5 on me?
Yo, Spike, thank you so much for getting Purple a sub, homie. You're way too fucking kind, dog. Appreciate you, bro.
Gameplay system. I remember when Aspire was working on it, I had reported that it was supposed to be a combination of like Neo 2 with stances and more of that God of War action combat. I would personally be okay with that because for me, KOTOR really came down more to build crafting than a lot of the abilities you were doing.
Dude, I was just thinking about the RPG elements of this game, and part of the reason why I love Baldur's Gate so much is because it reminded me of just like a much more RPG Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So to like have it upgraded and maybe like give you even more options and shit for what you can do. Oh man. Oh, I would love that so much. This is some nerd shit. I'm gonna go watch dudes fuck each other. My man. Chris, you have a girl? Maybe. Can't wait for them to figure out how to scan your face and then you get yourself in the game. For real, gonna be so crazy. Oh God. Thanks for the task. I appreciate you.
Deploying in combat and it being more tactical over there. Maybe some of you will disagree, but I would be okay if they took a more action-y route with this game, believe it or not. You know how I
Tootsie,
feel
what's
as
up,
long as
homie?
the RPG elements remain in leveling up and the build crafting in the inventory
Hell yeah.
system is there, and of course the light and dark side
Hell yeah,
options are
Tootsie.
there, then that is the RPG segment of the game, and they can kind of do what they want with the gameplay, especially because KOTOR 2 does lean in the stances. So yeah,
Too
there's
long?
so much to
Hey,
improve here.
yo.
There's so much potential here for an already timeless story to be told. The other optimistic point of view and why I wanted to see the light of day,
Amar, welcome back.
Saber handling this game is definitely nowadays better than Aspire, because if there was one thing that was concerning me with Aspire, it's that they had a lot of mobile game writers handling this, and there was reports of changes being made. I had heard some different things that I reported on this channel, but it was starting to become a little bit of a ramping concern that we were just getting away from what this should be, which is, I respect how ballsy Square Enix was with their remakes of Final Fantasy VII, and that's a whole different vision. I don't know if you could do this multiverse-like sequel with
Thank you for
KOTOR,
saving us
and I think many
from
of
that
us
shit.
are in the same pocket of just expecting a
They
traditional
pulled a
remake,
Rockstar
and I hope
Games?
that's exactly what we get here. Even if they trim down the scope considerably, keep the gameplay
Yo,
the same,
appreciate you,
and
Tootsie.
brush
Sleep
up the
well.
presentation, brush up the cutscenes, maybe even improve exploration, something that KOTOR I think does decently for its time period, but could be improved upon for sure to interact with the world more. These things could add so much to the game. So I apologize for taking that moment there to just have a fanboy rant, but it is so worth it, and I really do hope that it does see the light of day. Knowing it's in development is great. Knowing it's away from Embracer is the best news this game has gotten in years. I hate to say it, man, but it's true. It's the best news it got. Going privately owned is good news for us. Hopefully
Yeah,
these investors
Austin,
see
same.
value in this project and don't immediately go, you've spent too much on this, let's can it. Because the other thing we've learned is, I'm going to look at Xbox, where when they got Activision Blizzard, and we saw shortly after layoffs that Odyssey was canceled. And Odyssey was in development for a very long period of time. KOTOR Remake has also been in a long development stretch, right? There was moments it was in stasis, transitioning developers. So you also have to be wary that potential new investors may look at this and go, what are we doing here? Let's invest our money and time over there. Or this is closer to done. Let's focus on this project and shelve that one. So it's not the light at the end of the tunnel necessarily, but it's definitely a good first step to getting this project into a healthy space. And I'm going to be very interested to learn who is going to help publish this game. But we'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my optimistic take on things. I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts down below. So please fire away with that.
Shout out Mr. Matty Plays. Jay, if you guys want to go fucking subscribe to Mr. Matty Plays. And or check out this video. Here, hold on. Let me go to Opera GX for you all. So I can drop it in here for you. There you go. There's the link ski. Dude, W though, man. I'm very optimistic. This is actually way better news than I thought. I thought when they sold, I keep mixing up Saber and the other company in my head. It's Saber. Is it Saber making it? Anyways, when they sold the company, or Saber the one that. Anyways, when they sold this company, I was like, oh, that's it. But I didn't realize. Oh, wait a second. This is actually better because it's probably part of the big reason why they sold it. Like one of their selling points was like, yo, this game is, you have the rights to this game to make this fucking Star Wars game, which is sick.